Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Satya Prabhu, Likta Mataji, Sri Giriraj Prabhu, Vela Mataji, Lilananda Prabhu, Hari Bol, all glories. Thank you so much. Prabhuji. Start with the bhajan. He Govinda, He Gopala, Kesava Madhava, Dina Doyal, Dina Doyal, Prabhu, Dina Doyal, Kesava Madhava, Dina Doyal. He Govinda, He Gopala, Kesava Madhava, Dina Doyal. Tumi Parama Doyal, Prabhu Parama Doyal, Kesava Madhava, Dina Doyal. Dina Doyal, Prabhu, Dina Doyal, Keshava Madhava, Dina Doyal, Dina Doyal, Prabhu, Dina Doyal, Keshava Madhava, Dina Doyal. Pita Basana Pari, Mayure Shikadori, Murali Vani Tule, Bole Radhana. Pita Basana Pari, Mayure Shikadori, Murali Vani Tule, Bole Radhana. Dina Doyal, Prabhu, Dina Doyal. Keshava Madhava, Dina Doyal, Dina Doyal, Prabhu, Dina Doyal, Keshava Madhava, Dina Doyal. Tumi Madera Gopala, Prabhu Madera Gopala, Keshava Madhava, Dina Doyal. Tumi Madera Gopala, Prabhu Madera Gopala, Keshava Madhava, Dina Doyal. Dina Doyal, Prabhu, Dina Doyal, Keshava Madhava, Dina Doyal. Dina Doyal, Prabhu, Dina Doyal, Keshava Madhava, Dina Doyal. Bhavabhaya Banjana, Shri Madhusudana, Bhavabhaya Banjana, Shri Madhusudana, Vipada Banjana, Tumi Narayana. Bhavabhaya Banjana, Shri Madhusudana, Vipada Banjana, Tumi Narayana. Dina Doyal, Prabhu, Dina Doyal. Keshava Madhava, Dina Doyal, Dina Doyal, Prabhu, Dina Doyal, Keshava Madhava, Dina Doyal. He Govinda, He Gopala, Keshava Madhava, Dina Doyal. Dina Doyal, Prabhu, Dina Doyal, Keshava Madhava, Dina Doyal, Dina Doyal, Prabhu, Dina Doyal, Keshava Madhava, Dina Doyal. তুমি পরম দয়াল প্রভু পরম দয়াল কেশব মাধব দীন দয়াল पीताबसन परि मायूरे शिखा मुरली वाणी तुले बोले राधा नाम तुम्ही मादेरा गोपाल प्रभु मादेरा गोपाल केशव माधव दीन दयाल भवभय भंजना श्री मधुसूदन विपद भंजना तुम्ही नारायण दीनदयाल प्रभो दीनदयाल केशव माधव दीनदयाल दीनदयाल प्रभो दीनदयाल केशव माधव दीनदयाल जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव नित्य गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौरा हरि बोल श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्रील गुरुदेव की जय नित्य गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गदामन्यं ददाति स्वपदाङ्कितं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपः कुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रये नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गौ ब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्दिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे। So Shri Shikshashtakam prayers. चेतो दर्पणमर्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापणं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधू जीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनं नामकारि बहुधानि च सर्वशक्तिस् तत्रार्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन काला एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन्ममापि दुर्दैवमिदृशं इह जनेनानुरागः त्रिनादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमनेन कीर्तनीयः सदा हरिं नदनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि अयि नन्दतनुज किङ्करं पतितं मम विषमे भवान् बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजस्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तया नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदहृदया गिरा पुलकैर्विचितं वपो कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निमिषेण चक्षुषा प्राविशायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दं विरहेण मे आश्लिष्य वा पादरतं पिनस्तु मामदर्शनं मर्महतं करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विददातु लम्पतो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु। Hare Krishna, Prabhujis and Matajis, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for joining the Bhagavatam session today on the special day. Today it's Dasara, so wish you all a very happy Dasara. So this day we take an advantage to pray Mother Durga, Bhadra, Subhadra Mata to make us free from all this conditioned life in this material nature. So we pray her that we will not have any influence of Maya and she gives us more service of Krishna so that ultimately we reach the topest planet Goloka Vrindavan. Thank you so much. So yeah, so coming, I have absolutely zero qualification to speak about Bhagavatam today. But since it has been opportunity or instruction given to me to speak little about Bhagavatam, so today I'm here only to read whatever it is there. So please excuse me, pardon me if I make any mistakes for next one and a half hours. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. So last week we have started. Currently we are doing Canto 6, and last week we have started chapter 16. Shloka 1 to Shloka 17 has been done. So before we start, we'll have a quick recap of what we have learned or what we have read. So here we are discussing about King Chitraketu. And this particular chapter, chapter 16. So chapter 16 is about King Chitraketu meeting the Supreme Lord. So we'll quickly try to understand what we have done in the last 16 shlokas. So chapter 1, shloka 1 to shloka 16. So Chitraketu has many wives, but he was always lamenting that he doesn't have a son. So for a Kshatriya, it is always important to have a son so that he can take care of his kingdom further. So he was very much in deep grief that he doesn't have a son. He has many daughters, but he doesn't have a son. But finally, with one of his wives named Krityadyuti, he had a son. So Chitraketu was very, very happy. But all the other co-wives were very jealous that they couldn't possess a son, but this particular queen has given a son. So they were very jealous and they wanted to get rid of the son. So they wanted to kill the son. So all the co-wives together, they have poisoned the son and they have killed him. Chitraketu was very deeply in grief. He was very, very sad because the only son, whoever he possessed after a long time, even that son is dead. So he was lamenting very badly. And looking at his grief, so the great sage Narada, he appeared, and with his mystic powers, he brought back the son to the life. So he asked the son to come back and possess the body, whatever he has left. The son he wanted to come, but he was very confused. The son, he entered the body for a short time and he was confused because according to the material nature, one body, we after one body, we have to take automatically the other body. So we have learned that in second chapter also. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tata dehantara prapti. So after one body, we have to take up the other body. And now this particular soul, the son of Chitraketu, he was very confused after he entered the body, but he entered only for short time. He entered the body and he was very confused. He was asking the sage, so why did I come back? So I was not supposed to enter the same body once I leave the body. So depending upon the karma, depending upon the activities, karmic activities, whatever we have done, we will get a different body. So we'll be taking birth through a different mother and father. So when he came back to the life, he was not happy. He was asking, why did I come here? But so Narada said, so here is your parents. So King Chitraketu and Krityadyuti, they were all, even all your relatives are absolutely in grief. They were very unhappy that you left the body. So looking at their grief, looking at their lamentation, so I brought you back to life so that you can enjoy all these material possessions. And but he asked Narada, see, I had many bodies and different lives. So in which of my lives are these my parents? Because once he leaves the body, he's not sure. So who is this? Because we have many temporary mothers and fathers, right? Every life, every new body we take, so we have a different mother and father. So, but all those are temporary. He was not sure. So in which life King Chitraketu was his father. So he was not sure. So he asked, so in which life do I have these parents? See, all this, what happens, it's like our lives are just like a train journey, right? All the living entities will be carried away in this material world, just like in a river. So train, once we get in the train, there are many people. So for the short time, we'll keep interacting with them. And once our stop comes, we will get down. And if their stops comes, they will get down. So in this particular time, we develop lot of temporary relations. We develop lot of relations and which are always temporary. So he was confused whether I have to accept them in this life or in which life they are my parents. So all these activities are this birth, death, everything is controlled by Prakriti. So Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasaha. Everything is controlled by Prakriti. So the laws of nature gives us a different parents. But ultimately, unfortunately, we are not thinking of our original father. So we are only very much entangled in this temporary relations. Okay, he's my father, he's my mother, he's my parents, my brother, sister. We are very much entangled in this temporary relations. But ultimately, we are forgetting about our original father, who is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But how do we reach them? Getting a temporary life is very easy. So no, if not human parents, we get the animal parents or insect parents. Anyways, we get a temporary mother and father in every life until we understand the original father, the transcendental father. Until we understand him, so we get different bodies and we get different temporary parents. That the only source how we can understand is that the Supreme Personality is our original father only when we have the proper guru. So through his guidance, we can reach. Is very easy to reach the Supreme Lord. So what happened? So he was talking all these things. He didn't want to take birth. The son doesn't want to take birth because once the body is left, he's gone. So he doesn't want to take birth and have the same parents again. All the relatives, even including his parents, were very much astonished the way he spoke. So they really understood, okay, this is the real meaning of life. So we need to always look for our permanent father, the transcendental father, not for the temporary parents. So he told this very clearly, and all his family members, relatives, everyone understood it very clearly. So then they have accepted it. Yes, what you're saying is absolutely fine. So we should not fall for the false relationships. And he wanted to leave his body. He doesn't want to exist in that body anymore. So they have performed all the karma kandas, everything they have done very well, and they have sent him. So now, after all the activities are done, the co-wives were all the queens who were the reason for his death. They were very much ashamed for the act, whatever they have done. So they want to have this atonement. So they understood they have committed a mistake. So they wanted to go for atonement. So they went to the river Yamuna and they wanted to get this atonement done because of that stupid activity or false activity, whatever they have done. Even the Chitraketu, he understood now the real purpose of life. So until now, he was very much lamenting for his son. I had only one son, even that son is left. He was very much lamenting. But after the son spoke all these things, so he understood the real value of life. And then he started moving towards this spiritual journey. Okay, now we will start. So this is a brief introduction, what we have spoken last week. And now let's go back to from 17. So from the 17th shloka, so once he has completely surrendered, after Chitraketu has completely surrendered to the Supreme Person, once he understood the real purpose, then that is the time exactly when Narada and Angira, both are the sons of Brahma, so they have started speaking the further shlokas to Chitraketu. Until now, Chitraketu was in very much in material entanglement. So he was not happy. He was not thinking of anything else apart from his son. But at this particular time, from this shloka onwards, he understood that whatever he had, or whatever he was lamenting for until now is everything temporary. Now I have to start looking for this permanent relationship with the Supreme Lord. So after he had this realization, until now, because he doesn't have the realization, he was not spoken about the Bhakti Yoga. But from now, he understood the main purpose of life. He has realized it. Now, Narada and Angira, both of them, they started speaking the Bhakti Yoga to him so that he will advance further in his spiritual journey. So here, text 17. So translation. Thereafter, being very much pleased with Chitraketu, who was a self-controlled devotee and surrendered soul, Narada, the most powerful sage, spoke to him the following transcendental instructions. So as we just discussed, Chitraketu was in a different mood until now, but after he realized, he became a self-controlled devotee and he surrendered himself to Krishna. This is the particular time, exactly because of his surrenderness, Narada, he started speaking the transcendental knowledge to him. He gave the following transcendental instructions. So from now onwards, it starts. So we'll go to text 18. And 18 and 19 are together. Om Namastubhyam Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhimahi Pradyumnaniruddhaya Namashankaras sankarshanaaya cha. Namo Vijnana Martaye Paramananda Murtaye Atma Ramaya Shantaya Nivritta Dvaita Drishtaye. So this is a very powerful shloka. So Prabhuji and Mataji, would anyone of you like to read this translation? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanapram.
Narada gave Chitraketu the following mantra. O Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, who are addressed by the Omkara of Pranava, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. O Lord Vasudeva, I meditate upon you. O Lord Pradyumna, Lord Aniruddha, and Lord Sankarsana, I offer you my respectful obeisances. O reservoir of spiritual potency, O supreme bliss, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who are self-sufficient and most peaceful. O ultimate truth, one without a second, you are realized as Brahman, Brahmatma, and Bhagavan, and are therefore the reservoir of all knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much. So here, we have seen in that Bhagavad Gita in 7th chapter, Krishna is referred as Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. So he says, I am the syllable Om in the Vedic mantra. In Omkara, he says, I am the syllable Om. So here, Lord is addressed as Pranava, Omkara, which represents the sound is also, the Lord is in the sound, in the Pranava mantra. So he's in the Lord. So if you see here, after the Chitraketu surrendered, Narada gave the following mantra to him. You are addressed by Omkara. So from here onwards, Narada, he started describing the Supreme Lord to Chitraketu. So I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. O Lord Vasudeva, I meditate upon you. O Lord Pradyumna, Aniruddha and Sankarshana, I offer my respectful obeisances. O reservoir of spiritual potency, O supreme bliss, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. You are self-sufficient and most peaceful, and you are the ultimate truth. You are a realized Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan, and therefore the reservoir of all knowledge. So if we see in this purport, so Pranama Sarveshu Vedeshu. So here Krishna is referred as the mantra Om, the syllable Om in Omkara. See, we have known these expansions from Sankarshana, the second Narayana expanded, and from Narayana further expanded as Vasudeva, Sankarshana and Pradyumna Aniruddha. So Vasudeva is referred to as soul, Sankarshana as our ego, Pradyumna as mind, and Aniruddha as the intelligence. From the Sankarshana, again, the following expansions happens, like Mahavishnu, Karnodakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Kshirodakshay Vishnu. From Kshirodakshay Vishnu, we have known all these things. The further avatars, whatever avatars we have, like Matsyam, Kurmam, Varaham, all these avatars, they have expanded from Kshirodakshay Vishnu, who resides in the Shvetadvipa. So if you see further, all these avatars or all these expansions are same. Actually, there is no difference between them. So that has been also confirmed in Brahma Samhita, Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Ananta Rupam. So all these avatars are Advaita and Achyuta. So Advaita is like they are non-different, and Achyuta, Krishna is also referred as Achyuta because, see, as a conditioned soul, we always fall down until we realize the Supreme Lord as our eternal Father. That is the ultimate, until we realize that is the ultimate destination, we always keep falling down. But Lord is not like that. He is infallible. He never falls down. So that is the reason he is referred as Achyuta. So that has been also confirmed in Brahma Samhita. See, our body and Krishna's bodies are different. See, our body, we have a lot of conditioned tendencies. But Krishna's body, he doesn't need, we need always a cover. See, our soul, a spiritual soul always needs a cover. Right? Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya navani grihnani naroparani. So we need a body to cover ourselves. And once it is done, matra sparshasti kauntaya, which is a temporary. See, all happiness and like how it is referred in Matra Sparshasthu Kauntaya, Sitoshna Sukha Dukkadaha. So all this is non-permanent happiness and distress, like temporary. Our body is also temporary. Once we are done, the soul leaves the body and it needs a new cover, new dress. Right? But Krishna's body is not like that. We are confused. Because we are confused, we are changing our bodies. But Krishna is full of knowledge. He doesn't need to change anything. So his body is permanent. Only our bodies is temporary. So that is the reason in this shloka, if you see, Krishna is also referred to as yeah. So Vijnana Matraye Paramananda Murtaye. So Krishna is here, Krishna is referred to as Paramananda. He's Anandamaya. He always enjoys the transcendental bliss. He doesn't need.
उसका झांसी का हाँ तो वही मैं बोला ठीक है आ जाओ इरेज कर दो सायंत्रम निकाल लेना प्रिंट आउट सिक्योरिटी को बोला फोन किया अभी ఇప్పుడు सिक्योरिटी गार्ड कॉल एक्चुअली
Okay. So yeah. So Vijnana Matre Paramananda Murte. So Krishna is Anandamaya. He's always happy. He's always in transcendental bliss. And Krishna is also referred to as Atma Ramaya here. What is Atma Ramaya? He is self-sufficient. He doesn't need any external enjoyment. So Krishna is self-sufficient. That is the reason he's also referred here as Atma Ramaya. And Shantaya. Atma Ramaya Shantaya. So Shantaya, Krishna is never in excitement, never in anxiety. So he's always so peaceful. And being a devotee of Krishna, also the devotees remain very peaceful. So they don't have that anxiety. The only whatever they look for is the service of the Lord. They don't even look, see, normally there are different type of muktis. We have 5 different type of liberations. People want to be in Krishna's abode, or people want to have the similar features of Krishna, or people want to get inside, inside the Krishna. But a pure devotee doesn't even look for liberation. What only he looks for is the service of the Lord. So he is very happy only with the service of the Lord. So the qualities, so in this way, devotees have also the quality, one of the qualities of Krishna, that is Shantaya, always peaceful, no excitement at all. And here, if you see in the last shloka, it is referred as Nivritta Dvaita Krishtaye. So, if we again talk about our body and Krishna's body, see, we can see only through our eyes, right? We can do activities only through our hands. We can walk with our legs. So, we have only particular organs to do particular job. But Krishna's body is not like that. So, Krishna can eat with his eyes, and Krishna can see with his hands. So Krishna can do anything with any of his body parts. So that is also one of the major differences between our body and Krishna's body. See, if we further go into the difference between our body and Krishna's body, so Krishna is always referred to as Sachitananda Vigraha. But we are not like that. We are Asat, Achit, and Nirananda. Always. We always are unhappy. Since we always look for temporary happiness. One happiness is done, then we look for something else. Today, I have achieved what I want. Today, I'm happy. And tomorrow morning, again, the sorrow starts because I'm looking for something else. So that is why we are always Nirananda, and Krishna is referred as Satchitananda Vigraha. Krishna is always blissful, but we are under the modes of 3 material nature. Krishna's body is transcendental and spiritual, but our body has many bodily and the mental troubles. So since we always look for something else, we don't look for Krishna, we look for something else. Our body is always unhappy. We look for something else. And Krishna is free from all dualities. But we are perturbed with attachments and detachments both. So Krishna is the greatest and we are the smallest. So Krishna is transcendental to all actions and reactions, but we are always conditioned by the waves of material nature. And Krishna can expand himself to different forms, but we are restricted only to one particular form. Okay. So let's move on to the next shloka. So 20. Prabhuji, Mataji, anyone the translation, please?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Translation. Perceiving your personal bliss, you are always transcendental to the waves of material nature. Therefore, my Lord, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. You are the supreme controller of the senses, and your expansions of form are unlimited. You are the greatest, and therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you so much. So just now, as we discussed a lot about the difference between Krishna's body and our body, it's the same thing mentioned here. You're always transcendental to the waves of material nature. And you are the supreme controller of the senses. See, Krishna is the controller of the senses, but we are controlled by our senses, right? Whatever we see, we fall as a prey to it. Whatever we hear, we fall as a prey to it because we don't have control on our senses. But Krishna has control on everybody's senses. So he's the supreme controller. And expansions are unlimited. We have only one expansion, no, only one body. But Krishna is not like that. He can be at the same time in Goloka and at the same time in a different place. So we have also we also know that. So Krishna, he was there with all his wives, 16,108 wives at the same time. It's not like today he's there with Rukmini and tomorrow he's there with Jambavati and next day he's there in not one day, 1 week, one day in a month with one wife. No. So he was at the same time, he was there with all the 16,108 wives at the same time. So that is the greatness of Krishna. But we are very much conditioned that we don't understand the greatness of Krishna. So text 21. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Shall I read?
Yes, Mataji, please, Mataji.
The words and minds of the conditioned soul cannot approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for material names and forms are not applicable to the Lord, who is entirely spiritual beyond the conception of gross and subtle forms. The impersonal Brahman is another of his forms. May he, by his pleasure, protect us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol. So the words and mind of a conditioned soul cannot approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Prabhuji and Mataji, here we need to understand, until we are conditioned that we are attracted to this material world, so we can't reach Krishna. Right? It's clearly said, cannot approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for material names and forms are not applicable to the Lord, who is entirely spiritual beyond the conception of gross and subtle body. And here the impersonal Brahman, which is the effulgence of Lord, is described in this verse. So we have referred as the impersonal Brahman is another of his form. May he, by his pleasure, protect us. So text 22.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Translation. As spots made completely of earth are situated on earth after being created and are transformed into earth again when broken, this cosmic manifestation is caused by the Supreme Brahman, situated in the Supreme Brahman and annihilated in the Supreme Brahman. Therefore, since the Supreme Lord is the cause of Brahman, let us offer him our respectful obeisances. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So, if we talk about the cosmic manifestation, so Krishna is the source of everything. He is Sarva Karana Karanam. He is also the cause of everything. So he creates everything, and he is the one who also annihilates everything. See this creation. So Krishna creates, he maintains, and he is also the reason behind the annihilation. But once everything is annihilated, it will remain dormant in himself. So he'll keep everything for himself until the further creation starts. So here the analogy of the pot is taken, the clay pot. So the pot comes from the earth, and whenever it is utilized, it is situated on the earth, and once it is broken or once we don't use it anything, so what it is done? It is again transformed into the earth when broken. So this cosmic manifestation is also exactly the same. So Krishna creates it, Krishna maintains it, and once the annihilation is done, Krishna take it back into himself. Text 23.
Can I read Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Supreme Brahman emanates from the Supreme Personality of Godhead and expands like the sky. Although untouched by anything material, it exists within and without. Nonetheless, the mind, intelligence, senses, and living force can neither touch him nor know him. I offer unto him my respectful obeisances.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. The Supreme Brahman emanates from the Supreme Personality of Godhead and expands like a sky. So if we try to understand the beginning and ending of Krishna, that unfortunately never happens. So even Brahma couldn't find the beginning and ending of Krishna. After Brahma was born, he was trying to find, he went deep into that lotus stalk and he was trying to find out where is the beginning and where is the ending. So, and what we are when Brahma himself can't find the beginning and ending of his. So he's like expanded like a sky. Although untouched by anything material, it exists within and without. So the mind, intelligence, senses, and living force can neither touch him nor know him. So only all this, we have a lot of acting senses. We have a lot of senses, like hands, legs, everything. So we are influenced by all those things. But for Krishna, they can neither touch him or they know him. Such great personality the Supreme is. Text 24.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Translation by Parents from Prabhupada ki Jai. As iron has the power to burn when made red hot in the association of fire, so the body, senses, living force, mind, and intelligence, although merely lumps of matter, can function in their activities when infused with a particle of consciousness by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As iron cannot burn unless heated by fire, the bodily senses cannot act unless favored by the Supreme Brahman. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol Prabhuji, thank you so much. As iron has the power to burn when made red hot in the association of fire. See, iron can burn, but can the iron burn fire? No. So that is what exactly we are comparing here. See, all of us are part and parcel of Krishna, right? Including Brahma. Everyone have come from Krishna. See, the conditioned soul, matta smritir jnanam ahopanamcha. So everything, the knowledge, the forgetfulness, the remembrance, everything we got it from Krishna. But what do we think? For example, a scientist, he thinks, okay, I have created this. I am the one, the reason behind it. But once he doesn't understand where he is getting the intelligence. So if we take the brain is the main source for intelligence. But what is brain? It's just a lump of matter. Once the brain is taken out of the body, once you have an accident, the brain comes out, then your body is nothing. Even when you are alive, the brain is dead. Can we move? So it's just a lump of matter. But we need to understand that the intelligent, whatever we are using to act, is completely given by Krishna. So without Krishna electrifying it, all the organs, all the senses, everything is just a lump of matter. So Krishna is Hishrikesha. He is referred as a conductor of the senses. So he is the main reason he can control anything. But we feel that ahankara vimudatma. So a foolish person thinks he does everything. But he need to understand his intelligence. If Krishna is not electrifying his intelligence, it's nothing. It's just equal to a dead body. So Krishna is the only seer. Krishna is the only worker. Krishna is the only listener. And Krishna is ultimately the supreme controller. So we need to understand this. So without Krishna, there is nothing. So he is the reason behind our existence. Text 25. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
If nobody is there, shall I read, madam?
Yes,
Or
Mataji.
Mataji?
Please, Mataji.
O transcendental Lord, who are situated in the topmost planet of the spiritual world, your two lotus feet are always massaged by a multitude of the best devotees with their lotus bud hands. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, complete in 6 opulences. You are the Supreme Person mentioned in the Purusha Sukta prayers. You are the most perfect, self-realized master of all mystic power. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much. So here, in this particular verse, in the translation, the devotees of Krishna are also being described. So your two lotus feet are always massaged by a multitude of the best devotees with their lotus bud hands. So a sincere devotee always looks for the service of Lord. Nothing else is important for him apart from the service of the Lord. See, sometimes a devotee might not be competent enough to serve the Lord because of multiple reasons. But Krishna is so merciful. Even a small, see, we have Krishna also said, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhakta Prayachati. Manaha, with love, even Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, even a little offer to him with love. So Krishna, what he sees is how the service is done, how surrendered you are. No, see, for example, today morning I was listening to Radhisham Prabhuji's morning talk. So Prabhuji was saying, if we construct a huge temple, with lot of, it looks very opulent, a huge temple, and we have installed the deities. But the service is not done properly to the Krishna. So the service has taken only until the temple is constructed, and later that for some of the other issues, the service is not done properly to Krishna. So Krishna is residing as Archa Vigraha. What does Krishna think? So they have invited me. The same thing, if I invite some guest home and we give them only curd rice, the guests would definitely feel bad, right? Oh, they have invited me for lunch and they are giving me only curd rice. They don't have time to cook for me. So like when we invite Krishna, when we are ready to serve him, so the service, whatever, it can be opulent or it can be minimal. But whatever service we do, we should have the love towards God. If that particular love is missing, then Krishna will be very unhappy. He's not pleased. We should serve him with great dedication, with utmost interest, and then Krishna will be happy. Otherwise, what happens? Krishna will remain as Vigraha, but he goes to some other place where the devotees are calling him with lot of love. So Radhisham Prabhu also quoted the example of the wife of Vidura, so Vidurani. So when Krishna came to Dwaraka as a messenger, Krishna, he didn't even have accepted, have taken the full-fledged bhoga given by Duryodhana. He went to, because Duryodhana is not he's not devoted to Krishna. So that's the reason Krishna didn't accept his full course menu. So he went to Vidura's house, and you know what he got from Vidurani? A banana peel. But she offered it with love. But so that is the reason Krishna has accepted. So a devotee, sometimes he might not be competent to give the service enough, but when he has that love always towards Krishna in his heart, Krishna understands it. So Krishna also reciprocates it. So ye yata mam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham. So Krishna satisfies everyone whatever they desire, depending upon the level of surrender. But Krishna, definitely, he is very merciful. He is pleased with whatever service you do, and he definitely reciprocates. But that dormant cloud, whatever it is there inside, that should be brought out and that should be shown to Krishna. So text 26.
I will read Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Can I read Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please Mataji. Mataji, yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
What, Mataji?
Please go ahead, Mataji.
Yeah. Translation. Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued. Narada, having become the spiritual master of Chitraketu, instructed him fully in this prayer because Chitraketu was fully surrendered. O King Parikshit, Narada then left with the great sage Angira for the topmost planet known as Brahmaloka, purport. When Angira had When Angira had first come to visit King Chitraketu, he did not bring Narada with him. However, after the death of Chitraketu's son, Angira brought Narada to instruct King Chitraketu about Bhakti Yoga. The difference was that in the beginning, Chitraketu was not in a temperament of renunciation, but after the death of his son, when he was overwhelmed by his great plight, he was awakened to the platform of renunciation by instructions regarding the falsity of this material world and material possessions. It is only at this stage that Bhakti Yoga can be instructed. As long as one is attracted to material enjoyment, Bhakti Yoga cannot be understood. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 2.44.
So here Krishna says,
Okay.
Bhogeshwarya prasaktanam taya pahita chedasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhavna vidiyate. So until we are attached to the sense enjoyment and material opulence, so bhakti will not take place. So everyone has that bhakti bija inside, but we should come out of it. Until we are attached to enjoyment and opulences, so bhakti will not happen. So in the example of Chitraketu, he was lamenting for his son. So he didn't think of Krishna. He was thinking only of his son. But when his son himself gave the instructions that, no, this is not correct. So you are my temporary father. So don't lament for me. When he himself gave the instruction, then he understood the main purpose. And that is exactly the time. See, Vairagya Vidya, Nija Bhakti Yoga. So Vairagya and Bhakti Yoga are parallel to each other. So when you understand, when you reach that atonement stage, when you reach that level, when you cross it, then exactly Bhakti Yoga happens. What happens in Vairagya? You should leave everything. You should understand, okay, this is not the more important thing in my life. So Krishna is important. When you understand it, then will slowly happens anartha nivriti. So the detachment starts. So once the detachment starts, then slowly attachment towards Krishna increases. Then we have faith, then asakti, faith, and finally bhava, and finally we will reach to the prema stage. So the same thing, it is also there. You can read, Mataji, if you would like to read.
Yes, Mataji, I will read. In the middle of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination of devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. As long as one is very much attached to material enjoyment, one cannot concentrate his mind on the subject matter of devotional service. The Krishna consciousness movement is progressing successfully in the Western countries at the present moment because the youth in the West have reached the stage of Vairagya or renunciation. They are practically disgusted with material pleasure from material sources, and this has resulted in a population of hippies throughout the Western countries. Now, if these young people are instructed about Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness, the instructions will certainly be effective. As soon as Chitraketu understood the philosophy of Vairagya Vidya, the knowledge of renunciation, he could understood the process of Bhakti Yoga. In this regard, Srila Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has said, Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. Vairagya Vidya and Bhakti Yoga are parallel lines. One is essential for understanding the other. It is also said, Bhakti hi parame pareshanubhavo viraktir anyatra sa. Bhagavad Gita 11.2.42. Advancement in devotional service or Krishna consciousness is characterized by increasing renunciation of material enjoyment. Narada Muni is the father of devotional service, and therefore, just to bestow causeless mercy upon King Chitraketu, Angira brought Narada Muni to instruct the king. These instructions were extremely effective. Anyone who follows in the footsteps of Narada Muni is certainly a pure devotee. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So if you see, once he entered that renunciation phase, only then he understood Krishna as the Supreme Lord. As to that is when exactly the Bhakti Yoga has started for Chitraketu. So Angira brought Narada to give him the instructions of Bhakti Yoga. And once the instructions are done, Narada, he left to his topmost planet, material planet, that is Brahmaloka. Yeah, text 27.
Fasting and drinking only water, Chitraketu for 1 week continuously chanted with great care and attention the mantra given by Narada.
So he understood and he started continuously chanting the mantra given by Narada Muni. 28.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Can I read Matra?
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Translation. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O King Parikshit, after only 1 week of repeatedly practicing the mantra received from the spiritual master, Chitraketu achieved the rule of the planet of the Vidya Darsh as an intermediate product of his spiritual advancement in knowledge.
Haribol, Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So just in a week, he got his material benefit. King Chitraketu has got his material opulence. So he became the ruler of the planet of the Vidyadharas. Vidyadharas are the very intelligent people. So now Chitraketu has been appointed as the ruler of that particular planet. But it is just a byproduct for him. See, when we aim only material benefits, so those also we will receive, but those are temporary. So we will receive them only for certain enjoyment. Once the enjoyment is done, again we look for something else. So then we'll be happy, then sorrow, then again happy, then again sorrow. It keeps on, that cycle keeps on happening. But here Chitraketu's aim is not any material benefit. So he is looking for only spiritual advancement. So through that during that process, he have received a material opulence as a byproduct. But he was not aiming for it. If you see here, he is naturally endowed with material opulence of Vidyadhara Adipatyam and similar posts as byproducts. So a devotee need not practice any yoga, karma, jnana to achieve a successful result. Devotional service alone is competent to award a devotee all material power, but he doesn't take the advantage of it. A pure devotee doesn't even think of it. That is not required because that is not his ultimate goal. His ultimate goal is Krishna Prema. So if something is achieved as a byproduct, something he gets as a byproduct, he take it only as, that is also a service to the Lord. So as we discussed the earlier about the construction of temples. So if we have some money, then it could be used to construct temples or to buy some beautiful dresses for the lords or some beautiful decoration to the temple. But if we take that, okay, this temple was constructed by me, this dress was made by me, this was done for me, then again our fall down starts. So because we are materially opulent, when we use that in the service of the Lord, then at least there is a purpose for our opulence. And that material opulence will become the spiritual service. Otherwise, if you think, I have done this, I have done this, I have done that, then there is no spiritual, unfortunately, Prabhuji and Mataji, there is no spirituality in that. And still you are finding, using Krishna to become popular. That if you say that I have constructed the temple, so you are using Krishna's name to show up yourself, that means you are trying to dominate Krishna, that I have constructed a temple for Krishna. Come on, who are you without Krishna? So there is nothing like that. So whatever opulence, whatever we do, when we do it as a service of the Lord, then Krishna will be happy and we will move towards our ultimate goal. So 29.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Shall I read
Prabhuji.
Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, please, Prabhu.
Thereafter, within a very few days, by the uh, by the influence of the mantra, the Chitraketu had practiced. His mind became increasingly enlightened in spiritual progress, and he is attained shelter at the lotus feet of Anantadeva.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So within very few days, by the influence of mantra, Chitraketu has practiced. His mind became increasingly enlightened in spiritual progress, and he attained, within few days, he attained the shelter of the lotus feet of Anantadeva. So here we can, yeah. So as just now we have discussed the example of temple. Whatever we do for Krishna, our material opulence will not remain material, it will turn spiritual. If we construct a temple, if I have some 1 lakh rupees, I give it to the temple to buy beautiful dresses for the deities. Then my material opulence will become spiritual because I have used that money to make a beautiful dress for Krishna. See, when we understand that we are not attached to anything and everything we see in relation to Krishna. So Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagyam Uchyate. So this shloka is there in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So, we don't get attached to anything and everything we see in relation to Krishna, then we are rightly placed. Right? No attachment, anything, any small things we see in relation to Krishna. Maybe Krishna will like this, Krishna, let me cook for Krishna, let me clean the temple. Anything you see in relation to Krishna, then you are rightly situated. Right? So Chitraketu remained materially opulent as Vidyadharapati, but he was not attached to it. He was just doing a duty. He received it as a byproduct, but he was not attached to it. He's just performing his duty. But Krishna was satisfied. Krishna was happy with his service, and soon he attained the shelter of lotus feet of Anantadeva. See, Krishna is ready to give his mercy. He's always ready. He's just waiting. When this person will come to me, when my son will come to me, when my daughter will come to me, he's always waiting to give us his mercy. But are we ready to accept it? So that is a big question. We have so many material diversions that we are not able to see Krishna in every activity we do. Right? If we reach that stage, Yukta Vairagya, when we reach that stage, then definitely we can see Krishna in relation, in any activity we do, then we see that is related to Krishna. So then Krishna, we can understand how much merciful Krishna is, how much he wants to give us. He's waiting, he's opening his hands and he's calling all of us, but we are not going to him. So we should slowly reach that Vairagya stage where we get detached and see everything in relation to Krishna. Krishna will give whatever we ask for, whether it is material or spiritual. He is ready to give anything. But that we need to understand, material is temporary, spiritual is permanent. If we ask for something, for example, a new house, Krishna will give. But we all know that it is temporary. But a devotee, as I told you, a pure devotee will not ask for any temporary things. He will not even, see, liberation is the ultimate thing, what everyone, mukti is permanent thing, what everyone asks for. But a pure devotee will not even ask for mukti. He just wants his service, Krishna's service. But whatever is received as a byproduct, he will accept it as a mercy of Krishna. So text 30.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Text 30 of 16 chapter. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Upon reaching the shelter of the Lord Shesha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Chitraketu saw that He was as white as the white fibers of a lotus flower. He was dressed in bluish garments and adorned with a brilliantly glittering helmet, armlets, belts, and bangles. His face was smiling and his eyes were reddish. He was surrounded by such exalted, liberated persons as Sanat Kumar.
Very good. So here the description of Lord is happening. So upon reaching the Lord Sesha, the Supreme Personality of God Chitraketu saw he was white as the white fiber of the lotus flower. So description, his dress has been described and adorned with a brilliant glittering helmet, armlets, belt and bangles. And moreover, he was also describing as he was surrounded by exalted, liberated persons as Sanat Kumaras. So finally, Chitraketu entered the abode of the Lord Anantasesha. So text 31.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
As soon as Maharaj Chitraketu saw the Supreme Lord, he was cleansed of all material contamination and situated in his original Krishna consciousness, being completely purified. He became silent and grave, and because of love for the Lord, tears fell from his eyes, and his hairs stood on the end. With great devotion and love, he offered his respectful obeisances unto the original personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. Want me to read the purport to Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, please, Prabhuji.
Krishna purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The word Tat Darsana Vastak Samasta Kilbisha is very important in this verse. If one regularly sees the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the temple, one will gradually be disinfected of all material desires simply by visiting the temple and seeing the deity. When one is freed from all the results of sinful activities, one will be purified. And with a healthy mind completely cleansed, he will increasingly make progress in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So here, Chitraketu's, again, the further description of the Lord, after Chitraketu saw the Supreme Lord. So he was cleansed of all material contamination and situated in his original Krishna consciousness, being completely purified. So he became silent and grave. So, Prabhuji and Mataji, can we imagine Krishna in front of us? So what would be the reaction? So here Chitraketu has become completely silent and tears rolled out of his eyes out of loving ecstasy. And his hair stood on end. With great devotion and love, he offered his respectful obeisances. So, no, while I was reading this chapter, I was imagining what would be the situation of Chitraketu when he saw the Supreme Lord in front of his eyes. But I was like imagining what would what would we do when Krishna appears in front of our eyes? First of all, we will doubt ourselves whether it is really Krishna or not. Yes, definitely. Are you sure? Are you really Krishna who has come here? So that is definitely would be our question, at least for me, because I don't believe because of my material opulent life or materially conditioned life. I don't think so that even though Krishna appears in front of me, I would definitely question, who are you? Are you sure? Are you really Krishna? So that's what I was thinking when I was reading this translation and purport. So Chitraketu was really astonished. He was like surprised and he couldn't say anything because of this ecstasy. He was completely in that feeling that he could utter even a single word. (32)
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
With tears of love and affection, Chitraketu repeatedly moistened the resting place of the Supreme Lord's lotus feet. Because his voice was choked in ecstasy, for a considerable time, he was unable to utter any of the letters of the alphabet to offer the Lord suitable prayers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So the same thing continues. His voice was choked in ecstasy. So he couldn't utter even a single alphabet. See, when we see someone, actually, we try to get in conversation with them, and we try to offer something, whatever we have. But when in this mode of Chitraketu, he knows that who is standing in front of his eyes is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But still, he was completely choked. It took really a lot of time, a considerable time for him to understand what is happening in front of his eyes. And after that, he could, to offer the prayers also, he took some time, because he was completely blurred, he was completely confused. So that's the reason he was able to utter any word and to offer the Lord suitable prayers. So he waited really a lot of time, because even the prayers couldn't roll out of his mouth. In this particular shloka, he is explaining that. So text 33.
Hare Krishna. Therefore, by controlling his mind with his intelligence and thus restricting his senses from external engagements, he recovered suitable words with which to express his feelings. Thus, he began offering prayers to the Lord, who is the personification of the holy scriptures, the Sattvata Samhitas and Brahma Samhitas and the Narada Pancharatha, and who is the spiritual master of all. He offered his prayers as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Purport, want me to read purport to Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One can offer prayers to the Lord with mundane words. One must become spiritually advanced by controlling the mind and senses. Then he can find suitable words to offer in prayers to the Lord. Quoting the following verse from Padma Purana, Srila Sanatana Goswami forbids us to sing any song not sung by authorized devotees. Avaishvam mukhodhinam punam harikadamrutam sravanam naiva kartavyam sarvochistam yadapayaha. The words in this song of a person not fixed in Vaishnava behavior, not strictly following the rules and regulations, and chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra should not be accepted by pure devotees. The word Sattva Sastra Vigraham indicates that the Satchitananda body of the Lord can never be accepted to be made of Maya. Devotees do not offer praise to the Lord in an imaginary form. The existence of Lord's form is supported by all Vedic literature. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. So as it is mentioned here, one cannot offer prayers to Lord with mundane words. So Krishna does not accept the service so easily from everyone. So one should be a pure Vaishnav, or one should follow the Vaishnav etiquettes, and one should be in that surrendered mode to Krishna. See, sometimes we try to go to some dhams, some of the other obstacle will keep coming. So at that particular time, Krishna doesn't want us to go there. The only reason is we are not in that surrender mode. Right? So Krishna, he really looks for that pure love towards him. Only then he can offer the service so that we can serve him. So here in this particular shloka, it was being explained that until now, Chitraketu was very confused. He was not clear that he completely, because of that ecstasy, ecstatic love, he was completely lost. But now he regained his conscience. Then he can find suitable words to offer in prayers to the Lord. So he started offering in the form of the prayers to him. So the word or song of person not fixed in Vaishnava behavior, not strictly following the rules and regulations and chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra should not be accepted by a pure devotee. So if our surrender level is not to the mark, Krishna will not allow us to serve him. Some or the other, Maya Devi is always ready. Even attending the satsangs, our Lilananda Prabhu always. So he keeps saying this. So attending satsangs, so Krishna will stop. Okay, you are not qualified. For some or the other reason, Maya will come in between in between us and Krishna, and she will not let us go to satsang because our consciousness is not pure. So how do we attain that pure consciousness? The main thing to elevate our consciousness is chanting. First, we have to be very sincere, very committed in our chanting. So chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is nothing but we are asking for service, right? The meaning of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is nothing but we are asking Krishna for service. When we are sincere in chanting, then Krishna will automatically give us service. And in that particular state, we can serve him. Otherwise, Krishna will not give that service that easily to anyone. He will pick up. Bahunam janmanam ante gnanavan man prapadyate. So after many years, so Krishna picked up the devotees, whoever are eligible to serve him. Only they will get the service, and they have to do it with pure love. If the love is not there, again, so as we discussed the example, we have constructed a huge temple, we have installed the deities as Archa Vigraha, and the service is not done properly. Krishna is not happy. Krishna will leave the temple. Okay, my deities will remain here, but I am not there. Once we invite the guest and we don't serve him properly, the guest would be definitely unhappy. So Krishna will leave to some other place where he's been called with love and he's been served with love. So that is how, say, once our chanting is sincere, automatically we get the service of the Lord, and that service has to be done with pure love towards the Lord. So 2 more verses. Last but one verse, text 34.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Shall I read it, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Okay. Translation by His Grace. Isi Bhaktivedanta. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Chitraketu said, "O unconquerable Lord, although you cannot be conquered by anyone, you are certainly conquered by devotees who have control of the mind and senses. They can keep you under their control because you are causelessly merciful to devotees who desire no material profit from you. Indeed, you give yourself to them, and because of this, you also have full control over your devotees." Shall I
Hare
continue on Prabhupada also, Mataji? Or
let us see, Prabhuji. It's a very big purport, Prabhuji. So
Okay, okay.
I'll explain this. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank
you. So, O unconquerable Lord, although you cannot be conquered by anyone, you are certainly conquered by devotees who have control on the mind and senses. So, can someone conquer Krishna? So, Krishna has fought many kings, right? Did anyone conquer Krishna? Is it possible? No, it is not easy to conquer Krishna. But not easy, it is not possible for a materialistic person to conquer Krishna. But at the same time, if a pure devotee serves Krishna with love, then Krishna gets surrendered easily to that person. So Krishna and devotees, they both conquer each other. So we can take the examples of Krishna and gopis. So Krishna conquered gopis by playing flute. And at the same time, if gopis are not there, Krishna is also not there. No, they both have that loving exchange between them. Right? So it's the same thing for us. When we serve Krishna with pure love, Krishna will definitely be pleased, and he comes and sits right beside us. But if we are asking for material benefits, Krishna will give still, but he is not there. He doesn't have that connection with the person. So a pure devotee will be always be happy in the service of the Lord. See, the service should be always uninterrupted and unmotivated. Anya bilashita sunyam. So there should be always without any interruption. Actually, a pure devotee, for them, it doesn't matter whether the situation is happy or whether he's in a happiness or distress. Right? He always look for an opportunity to serve Krishna. How here see, for example, if we lose something in a life, something important, so what happens? Simply people keep blaming the God. See, I have prayed you so much, but now you have taken away this from me. So from today onwards, I will not pray you. See, it's all because of our karmic reactions. What has God to do with this? So when our service is unmotivated and uninterrupted always, ahai tuki aprahiyata. So when it is always unmotivated and uninterrupted, then Krishna will be pleased. So that is how what exactly a pure devotee is. He doesn't look for any material benefits. He always look only for the service opportunity, and whenever he has an opportunity, he will grasp it. And if we go on further, see, someone can read a lot of books, lot of scriptures, they read everything, but the surrender doesn't happen. For example, a gnani or karmi, for them, conquer is never happens because they always do it. A gnani, what is the purpose of the gnani? He always want to gain that gnana. And karma kand is also the same thing. They always do some, okay, if I do this, I will get this. So always for some benefit. If this, though they are in relation to God, they are expecting something from the Lord. Then that person cannot conquer the Lord. He can't gain that pure love from the God. But a devotee, since there is no zero expectation, because of that, it is very easy to attain the love of God. See, when there is kama istaste hrita jnana, so when you are greedy, when you have the desire to attain something, then hrita jnana. So the fall down of intelligence. You can't be intelligent when you're always seeking for some sort of benefit. Right? So only a pure devotee in that pure love state can attain the love of God. So text 35, last text.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Can I read, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Yeah. Translation. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Lord, this cosmic manifestation and its creation, maintenance and annihilation are all but your opulences. Since Lord Brahma and the other creator are nothing but small portions of the portion of you, their partial power to create does not make them God. Their consciousness of themselves as separate lords in therefore merely false prestige. It is not valid.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Including Brahma, all of us are part and parcel of Krishna. Right? Everyone, every creation. So, though Brahma is said to be the creator, that creator itself has been created by the Supreme Lord. Right? So, whatever Brahma is doing, it is also controlled. Everything is under control of the Supreme Lord. Only through his guidance, everything in this cosmos is happening. See, in Bhagavad Gita it says, Mamai vamso jiva loke jiva bhutan sanatanaha, manshastrani indriyani prakristani karshati. So everyone is a part and parcel of Krishna, but we are struggling a lot because of our senses. 6 senses, that is including also mind. So this mind always takes us away from Krishna, right? Because there are so many attractions around us. But once we understand the creator, the maintainer, and the annihilator, every job is done by Krishna. See, if we take a small material example, a car has been made. So Germany is famous for cars. So they produce cars. So all the material ingredients, all the material that has been used to make the car, and the person's intelligence, if he understands that everything is given by Krishna, then he doesn't say himself as the creator, right? So what is the duty of the creator? For example, he creates something, he maintains something, And after that, for example, if we take the car example again. So he creates the car, he maintains the car, any service happens, he maintains it. But once the car is broken, it is not working anymore, then everything is dismantled and he doesn't know what to do with that, right? It will be thrown somewhere else. But if we compare that to Krishna, Krishna has created this cosmos, he is maintaining it, and once it is done, once it is annihilated, Krishna takes it back inside, he keeps it inside. It lies inside him as dormant until the further creation happens. So that is the difference. No one can claim himself as a creator because there is no intelligence. The intelligence, the brain, whatever we have, which is the source of intelligence, is just a lump of matter. Right? If Krishna doesn't give that intelligence, how can we create so many things? So we have to accept whatever the creation is purely, it's a mercy of Lord. Everything is given by him. Right? So again, matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha. So the knowledge, the intelligence, and everything, the remembrance, everything is given by the Lord. So that is what explained here in this also. So Prabhuji and Mataji, ultimately, we understand Krishna as the supreme creator, supreme maintainer, supreme annihilator. Once we know this very clearly, so we don't claim us to be the creators, right? We have zero intelligence. Without Krishna, we are nothing. With zero intelligence, what can we do? So everything is done by Krishna, and Chitraketu has realized it very well. So he has surrendered to Krishna, and because of his level of surrender, he has been taken to the ultimate abode, and he has taken the darshan in person, in life of Anantasesha. So yeah, Prabhuji and Mataji, so we are done until 35. So tomorrow, His Grace Sri Giriraj Prabhu will continue from text 36. So please excuse me, please pardon me, Prabhuji and Mataji, if I've spoken anything wrong. So again, Matta Smriti Jnanam Apohanam cha, everything is given by Krishna. So he is residing as Paramatma inside me, and he has let me speak, though I'm not qualified, he has let me speak something about Bhagavatam today, about this particular topic. So anything to say, Prabhuji and Matajis?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Wonderful experience, Mataji.
This
Yeah, really wonderful.
Krishna Mataji.
Really amazing. Great words. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Padma
Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Class was very nice.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very
Krishna
much,
Mataji.
Mataji, for wonderful class.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhobhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. With our God Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So happy Dashera, Prabhujis and Matajis, once again. So please, let's pray together, Krishna, one more time today. The Bhadra Mata, to give us more service of Lord, to make us free from the being prey of Maya. And yeah, so we should get more service of Krishna, more sincere in the service. And ultimately, we have only one aim, to attain Krishna Prema. So let us pray on this special day. So Durga Mata bless us all abundantly to reach supreme abode. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Padma Mataji. Very nice class.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.